Hi, everyone. My name is Jan Gesperk, and I'm the Director of Strategic Partnerships here at DJI. We have been hosting this conference for over 4 years now. And every year we organize this conference, it really just amazes me so much by the leaps and bounds that the industry is able to grow in such a short time. I believe the first AirWorks we had was in San Francisco, and we had probably just a little bit over 100 people. And then today, just 4 short years later, we're at over 700 people here at the 4th year. But every year when we organize this conference, the reason we do it is to really create a platform to bring all the different stakeholders for the industry together under one roof. Okay? And DJI very much we see ourselves as a custodian of this industry to some extent. But we very much recognize that if we actually want to realize the potential of this technology, it's not something that we can do ourselves. Okay? So with this conference, our intention is to bring all the different stakeholders together, show you amazing things, such as what LAFD is doing with this technology, and really together come together and accelerate the growth of the industry. I want to just take a brief look back at one of Romeo's slides earlier. And this is the case study for the wildfire response at Paradise. Now, this is, again, I think just a good example of what we can do when we're able to bring everybody together. As part of the response, we had over 16 UAV teams, over 600 missions flown. Now, this is in no stretch of the imagination is this something that DJI could do alone. And in fact, as part of the response, of course, DJI was involved, but Drone Deploy provided their software for a lot of the photogrammetry work. We had a hangar that was also involved using their software to generate the 360 panoramas. And also a company called Survey that would help geolocate a lot of the videos that we would produce. And again, this is just one example of what we can achieve when we're all able to come together and operate in a collaborative manner. And we really hope that AirWorks is a forum for that, to showcase what we've done and really build the partnerships for the next year ahead. Now, when it comes to partnerships, for DJI, there's been no partner that's been with us for longer than FLIR. We originally started to collaborate all the way back in 2014 on the original XT1 program. So with that, when we launched that product, it was the world's smallest fully integrated thermal sensor into a UAS. Then last year, we followed up with the ZenMuse XT2, which integrated both visual and thermal together. And that turned out to be an incredibly powerful tool to allow public safety and other inspection work to really engage with more complex operations. So we're very excited about our partnership with FLIR and the future, and what really the future holds for it. And today, we're very proud to invite them up on stage. And we'll have Chris Bainter, who's our Global Director of Strategic Business Development, who will tell you more about some of the amazing work they're doing on the DJI platform. Over to you, Chris.
Man, I'm excited to be here today. That was great. It's hard speaking after you guys, though, at LAFD, I got to tell you. Man, anyway. Well, I'm excited here today to talk about a brand new product announcement from FLIR. But before we talk about that, I wanted to talk first about FLIR's mission, which is to innovate technologies that increase awareness and insight so that professionals or first responders can make more informed decisions that save lives and livelihoods. And that couldn't be more true when we think about first responders. We develop tools that help give them better insights. And one example that you see here is a handheld thermal camera that can see through smoke, provide better situational awareness. It was really encouraging and validating. I guess we're just proud that that's working so well, and excited to take that technology in the XT2 with the collaboration with DJI and put that on an unmanned UAS aircraft. And we saw that that works really, really well for first responders. But our CEO talks about being proud or being happy with his success, but never being satisfied. You probably associate FLIR as a thermal infrared camera company, but 41% of our business actually comes from non-thermal technologies. And one of those is our chemical biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive detection devices. That team is focused on building products that safeguard people and property. And we leverage 40 years of experience in developing products that are ruggedized and able to go into the harsh, difficult locations that our first responders have to go into. If we think about that a little bit more, I didn't have a full respect for what happens in situations like this. Unknown hazards, rapidly evolving environments. From a hazmat perspective, as I've been told and as I've seen in videos, they put on this maximum PPE, personal protection equipment. And that stuff, it's heavy, it's hot. You only get to be inside there for a certain amount of time before you have to come back, get washed down or whatever they do to cleanse the suit, and then somebody else goes out. So when you think about responding to these, we don't know the hazards, so they're putting on maximum gear, headed in. They only have a short amount of time to try to assess what the threats are, and then they're headed back and another team is headed out. So we started to think at FLIR, is there a better way? Is there a safer way? Today I'm excited to announce a new product. It's the FLIR MUVE C360. It's an unmanned multi-gas sensor, FLIR's first non-thermal payload for a UAS platform. And it's meant to be deployed ahead of first responders to both locate and detect the hazardous chemical threats that might be present and map out that hot zone. This lets first responders know exactly what type of gear they need to use, and they can respond much faster to that threat because they have an idea of the location and the types of chemical hazards that are going to be there, and they can respond accordingly. And then in addition, it continues to work on scene to provide 360-degree situational awareness as a scene evolves, as things progress, and stream that data back to the people that need that information to make the decisions necessary. The C360 is a perfect complement to our already expansive portfolio of handheld detection solutions. Let's take a look at a video and see it in action.
Being first on scene puts you at a higher risk. Well, what if there was a safer way to assess the scene? Now you can take command of any situation from a safe distance. Meet the future of gas monitoring. The FLIR MUVE C360 is the industry's first multi-gas detector, fully integrated with an unmanned aerial system. Whether your mission is hazmat response, emergency management, environmental monitoring, or inspection and compliance, situational awareness is critical. Take command of any situation from a safe distance. With 8 sensors, including a PID, the C360 provides more coverage than a typical handheld gas meter. Powerful visuals from the ZenMuse XT2 combined with the C360 sensor data to give you a comprehensive overview of the scene. With the FLIR C360, operators can locate the source, define a safety perimeter, and monitor gas concentrations in 3 dimensions. And it allows responders to select the right PPE, monitor, analyze, log, and identify hazardous gases with the easy-to-understand visual overlay. Be the first in and the last out with the FLIR MUVE C360.
Thank you. Now there's a lot going on in that video. I'm not sure if you actually caught which part was the actual new sensor product. It's the block that sits on top of the UAS platform, and you saw the snorkel that sticks out. So it has an active pump technology and runs that across the 8-channel sensors to be able to detect which types of threats are present. So when we think about situations that are first responders are going to go into, it could be a leaky tanker car, it could be a train derailment, maybe an active fire scene. The idea is that the C360 is your first line of defense. It gets sent out ahead of the first responders, again, to both locate and detect what types of threats are available. Maybe it's a chlorine gas or carbon monoxide, and be able to locate those sources, and also to help map out the hot zone. And in those situations, this again helps reduce that response time dramatically. And we kind of played out some of the scenario, how it does that. So not only informing of the different types of PPE that they'll wear, the gear that is necessary and appropriate, but building out a better action plan of how to address that situation. Let's also talk about another type of application. Oops. There it is. Okay, so industrial safety, inspection, compliance monitoring. Remember, the C360 detects a multitude of gases, and some of those are being able to detect hydrocarbons and methane. So this is really helpful for going in locations where it's difficult to get to physically. And so to reach access those hard to reach locations, you can send in the C360 and it not only helps you detect where the gases are and the types of gases present, but when you couple it with the XT2, it really becomes even more powerful. So an example would be an XT2 detecting hot gas that you're seeing the thermal impact, and then the C360 tells you whether it's methane or a hydrocarbon, and that helps in compliance, or if there were a situation, it can help you set up a safety perimeter. And then the last one we talked about was emergency management. And so having it remain on scene with you for 360 degrees situational awareness as the scene progresses. Maybe there's different threats and they're changing, new ones are coming up. It definitely is meant to be the first in and the last out in that scenario. So in summary, there's kind of 3 core benefits to the FLIR MUVE C360. One of them that we've talked about is assessing the scene from a safer distance. Giving better understanding of the location and types of gases so that we can be quicker response time and reducing that time to action. And the last one we talked about was 360-degree situational awareness. The FLIR MUVE C360 really does fulfill FLIR's mission of providing insights and awareness so that professionals, first responders, can make more informed decisions and ultimately save lives and livelihoods. But really, to understand this product the best, we encourage you to come by, visit us, get hands-on with the product, talk to some of our experts, and learn more. Thank you very much.